What does it have? No, yes, that's Start?
Yes, okay. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Daniël van Rijn. I'm working, as you heard already, for the Netherlands Enterprise Agency, and we are in fact part of the Ministry of Economic Affairs. And the Ministry of Economic Affairs is the ministry dealing with the International Energy Agency. And I, together with my colleague Femke de Kok, are the Dutch representatives for EBC. So I'm honored to be here. It's great to see a lot of people and also a lot of people online. That's good. And I talked with Christian and Tuan for about a couple of weeks ago, and we decided I should make a presentation of 15 minutes. I hope I manage, and otherwise you have to give me a sign. I with some of my slides. Well, let's go on. No, one thing first. Maybe you have a picture of the Netherlands looking at Amsterdam or Utrecht, or the beautiful landscape coming with the train from Amsterdam or Schiphol to here. This is the real Netherlands. What you see here is typical neighborhoods built partly in the 60s, partly it was agriculture at the left top side, partly those are new buildings, and most of them are single row houses, or at least not high-rise building. By the way, I lived in my youth in the second top house over there. So it's always funny to show this. I have a presentation, short presentation in 3 parts. First, I have to tell you something about the IEA and EBC. Probably you all know it already, but it's in our slides. Then I want to say some words about the built environment in the Netherlands, the way I did already. And then I want to go to the sustainability in the built environment, which is policy or other policies. From there, a short way back to your annex and why and what is important for the Netherlands. International Energy Agency, huge, and it's founded, and probably you all know, it's founded somewhere in 1973 or 74 due to the first oil crisis. All the people may remember it. I can remember skating on a highway. After 32 member countries and 17 other kinds of countries. And what is important for EBC is that there are, under the umbrella of EAA, there are 38 technological cooperation programs, and EBC is one of them. So you're in good company. It's a platform for governments to work together to advance research, development, demonstration, and commercialization of energy technologies. I always think it's a bit difficult looking at the built environment to talk only about technologies. But anyway, and like I said, the Ministry of, I used the old name, it's now the Ministry of Climate Policy and Green Growth, formerly known as and Economic Affairs. The Netherlands, we take part in 17 TCPs. And of course, the first one is energy building communities. And on your right, you see my name and my colleague Femke de Kok. And RVO is the Dutch name for the Netherlands Enterprise Agency. So you see there the Dutch delegates for different TCPs. And in red, those are the TCPs which have more or less involvement with the built environment. So are more or less connected to each other. And I'm a lucky guy because most of the contact points are my colleagues. So I can always talk to them. And for the Dutch people here, if you have any questions about another TCP, and it's one of those 17, just contact me. I can help you to find the Dutch contact point. EBC, here we go. The mission, well, you probably all know it by heart, to support the acceleration of transformation of the built environment towards more energy efficient and sustainable abilities in communities. Online, you can hear me. Someone is okay. Thank you. Yeah, by the development and dissemination of knowledge, technology and process. It is much more. And other solutions through international, well, this is international, cooperative research and open innovation. We've got 26 participating countries. How much are there involved in this annex? No, a lot. And we've got 19 ongoing annexes. And yes, 78 completed annexes. It's quite logical because it was established in 1977. So it's an old TCP. Those are those 26 participating countries. So probably you all are coming from one of those countries. If not, well, that's interesting. Those are the priority research topics. Will not spell them. You can read them and you can find them back on the EBC website. But your annex, I think, has to deal with a lot of them. So that's interesting. Those are, I suppose the sheets will be sent to all the people afterwards. So you can read them. I will not spell them. Those are all the 19 annexes in progress. And of course, in green, quite small, there's your annex. And in red, with kind of dots and NL, you can see the annexes where there is some or more Dutch involvedness. There are Dutch contact points, experts working in that annex. Yes, the Netherlands, small country. Wasn't 200%? Christian said it already. It's about 200 kilometers wide and 380, I think, 50 kilometers from north to south, compared to a lot of other countries, which is this. And something about the energy demand in the Netherlands. You can see a lot of figures. What's important is those are written in 2024, that about 17% of our energy demand is renewable. Well, it has to speed up, I think. And we had a special situation in the Netherlands because we're a natural gas country. We did have a lot of natural gas for ourselves. We did get it from the northern province, Groningen. We stopped it because of its, well, we did get earthquakes in that surrounding due to the natural gas. So we stopped it. Now it's becoming a problem because now we're not independent at all anymore. 70% is coming from abroad. And because we had the natural gas and the harbors, especially in Rotterdam, where are traditionally an important fossil energy hub, Europe. Let's think about what will happen when we don't need those fossil energy anymore. And in 2021, I must admit this was the previous government, the coalition agreement aimed for a 60% greenhouse gas reduction compared to 1990, so that at least 55% reduction is achieved. Build environment in the Netherlands. I think this is more your common ground. We've got 8.1 million homes. We have a dense country. 0.6 million non-residential buildings. And to be honest, when you look at the energy consumption, you see that, well, it depends on how you measure, but let's say 40% of the energy consumption is you can count to the non-residential buildings. So in real life, doing things in those kind of buildings is quite important. So most attention, I think that's quite normal in Europe, probably worldwide. Most attention is paid to houses. Approximately 1.6 million buildings in the Netherlands built before the Second World War. So most of it is built after the Second World War. I will show you a graph slide. And this means that the existing building stock is quite, because it will be there, it will still be there in 2050. We've got another problem because we have a shortage, a big shortage of houses. So looking at sustainability, we don't only have to look at the existing housing, but also to the new houses. And well, as said, most houses have natural gas. A gas boiler in the house. We have to get rid of that. This is a graph, and can everybody see it? It's about housing, and I think the most down graph is the most interesting. What you see is the production of houses in time, starting at about 1900, and it runs till 2020. And what you see is that the big dip is, of course, the Second World War. And after that we started building houses, especially in the 70s and 80s. So, and it went down to a low production nowadays. This means two things. That first of all, when we look at sustainability, we have a big effort to make in all those 90, 60, 70, and 80 houses. And especially the 90, 60, 70 houses are originally badly insulated. And the 90 houses are more or less insulated. This gives us, in fact, even a bigger problem because there is something there and we want to have more. How to deal with that? And the other thing is, we want to, nowadays, because of the shortage of houses, we want to have more new houses, about 100,000 a year. Look at that figure. It is possible because we did do that in the early 80s. And we had 1 year, we had production of about, I think, 130,000 new houses. We live in a total different society nowadays, so it's tough to meet that. Those are the pictures. This is the Netherlands in houses. And what you see is, skip it, but what you see is a lot of row houses, one single family houses, freestanding houses, and we don't have much high-rise buildings. What we call high-rise are at the most 10 houses. So that's not much. It's good to know. So we have to pay attention, especially to difficult for the people there, to these types of houses built between the 50s and the 80s, single houses, row houses. Some points to sustainability in the digital environment. 3 of them. First of all, we have got our National Plan Energy System, or NPA. And well, what you can see, the National Energy System Plan is the government's vision for the energy system, which is not the same as what we do want to have from the point of view of sustainability in the environment until 2050. Secondly, we've got it's called the PVGO, in English, more or less, the sustainability measures in the built environment, which focuses on, well, somewhere in between 2030 and 2050. And well, in a way, this is about mitigation. But on the left, there is the National Climate Adaptation Implementation Program. As you can hear, this is about adoption, how to deal with changing climate. What the National Plan Energy System does do is maximize the supply of infra, of course, because we have to deal with electrification and with what's the word? Heating and cooling on a domestic scale, energy savings in general, smart use. That's interesting. Smart use. The word smart is very to make connection. International collaboration and participation and fairness. It must be payable and reachable everybody in the Netherlands. What we talk about is electricity, hydrogen, carbon, which is effects, natural gas, renewable gases, and heat. Then we've got the PVGO. It's more operational in a way. What they say is we have to insulate, and we have to use renewable energy, and we have to target on sustainable energy efficient heating. And it's operational because it gives fixtures to reach, which also makes it quite tough to deal with. And I will skip this one. This is about climate adaptation program. I can say it's in Dutch, so it makes it difficult. But on the 4th column there is about working and living. And well, let's say we just finished a study on temperature in houses. Summer situation, not nowadays, but 2050. It's going to be some parts of the country, and especially in cities, in belts, it's going to be tough for your health, tough to sleep in the night. Okay, I think more or less complete. So your annex. Yeah. What's the importance from the Netherlands? Well, yes, when you look at those three documents, when you look through your eyes, you can see it's about 5, maybe more important things. First of all, there's on the left, there's the classic one. It's about CO2 reduction for products or metals. We all know it. Insulation, double glass, ventilation systems. But then in the Netherlands, because we have to do that much, and because it's too expensive, and because we have too little hands, labor to deal with it. It has also to do with that we have to make all those new buildings. We have to accelerate on another way, meaning we have to industrialize, we have to digitalize, we have to use robots, robotization, continuous workflows. So this means quite another approach than the old-fashioned one. Then, of course, we have to deal with other aspects of sustainability, circular, embodied energy, bio-based, emission-free construction. It's a bit new for us. Then, well, the fourth one, it's one part. It has to do with climate adaptation. Said it's going to be too warm in the sleeping room, but it also has to do with the old subjects, like indoor environment, climate ventilation, health in general in your buildings. And the last one is interesting because of point of view from the energy system. We don't want to look on houses and buildings on their own, part of the energy system. Of course, they ask for energy, but they will also deliver energy. They will storage energy. They will, on a neighborhood scale, they will and give energy to each other. This is one of the main interesting parts of future built environment in the Netherlands. What will happen there? And then I try to put some dots. It's my impression of why your annex is or could be important. First of all, the classic ones, I would say. It's about the CO2, about materials, about installations, why it's important to know exactly what they are doing. And the second one, of course, is indoor environment, etc. Looked it up, and I think the second annex, EBC, so it was about 79, was also exactly about this kind of subjects. So it's an old tradition. This, I don't know, but it could be interesting because when you don't renovate or build just in the field, but in fact in the factory, that's what you do there. Well, you also want to know exactly what the conditions are and what the specs are. So I don't think it's in your annex, but in a way that there is a big relation with that. Climate adaptation. Well, yeah, in a way, you do want to know how it works in reality, not only in winter, also in the heat, in the summer, in the heat. And there, of course, the last one, which is for us very important, how do buildings really work? We have to know that, because of then we can say how they work in the whole energy system. We're talking about particles. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Daniel. We don't have much time, but maybe there is a question Any questions at coffee time? So I think that would be better.
Coffee time?
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.